Hello, my name's Carsten Villa. Welcome to the first session of the subject of tithing. And, today for episode 1, and I'll be doing a number of episodes, we're going to discuss what the tithe actually is. Now, I'm the author of Tithing, Reviewing Scripture in Context. So, what is the tithe? Now, the tithe, you can have two meanings for the word tithe, basically. If we're dealing with the pre-law tithe, specifically with Abraham and what Jacob would have understood of the tithe, then it was the form of war booty. Now, what is war booty? You go off to war, you win the war, and then you bring back the spoils of war. Now, the spoils of war could be silver and gold or anything that was worth anything, and then basically 10% of that war booty would have to be paid to the ruling authority of the time. And this is a Babylonian tradition, also in Mesopotamia and in Rome, and that was practiced by the people that Abraham was surrounded with at the time, and he knew it well, so he paid it to Melchizedek as recorded in the Bible. However, if we're dealing with the tithe in the form of the Mosaic Law, then the Mosaic Law is effectively only payable to the Levites, and it is in the form of food sources only. So you can only pay tithes in the Mosaic Law through produce of the land and herds. So they were paid to the Levites and the priests. So in other words, the tithe never equated to money as far as the Mosaic Law went. The only time money was used in relation to the word tithe was in Deuteronomy 14 if the tent of meeting for the festival tithe was too far away. So every year the tithe payer would go to the place of meeting, whether it was for tabernacles, for the festival tithe, whichever festival was being celebrated at the time. And what would actually happen is they were allowed to sell their tithe away from the tent of meeting, because if it was too far to go, so they didn't want to carry all the produce with them and the herds, take all the herds with them, so they were allowed to sell it then, but then at the place of tent of meeting, they would use the money that they got for the tithe to rebuy the tithe back again in food sources, whereby they could celebrate with the Levites with those food sources, and they would eat the tithe in the presence of the Lord. Now, I can't remember the last time I heard eating the tithe in the presence of the Lord in church, but there you go, that's the Mosaic Law, and that was for one of the specific tithes. And that's the only time when tithing equated to money, but you could not pay the tithe in money. It had to be in food sources, either produce of the land or in the form of herds. And that is from every scripture in the Bible. Now, that is your definition of the tithe. I look forward to seeing you again in session 2. If you want more detail on the definition, it's in here. And in the meantime, have a great day. Thank you.